Welcome! I'm Will, the Nerdy Nerf Herder. Today we're continuing on with the greenhouse. I've decided we're going to start off with taking care of some trees here. So we're going to try setting up some pretty trees now. I think I've got enough shrubbery that we should be able to do this. And get it all looking good. Alrighty. So I have decided for our lum trees, I want to use these blossoms. Don't ask me why. The reason why is I have plenty of them. And I thought it would give a nice little contrast in color there for them. Now, unfortunately, it's placed next to a pecha tree, so I feel like the pink kind of does. Could be better. We may change that before the end of the episode. We'll see. Alright. Bam. And we'll go ahead and take those berries. And of course, if you're doing this, I highly recommend going with your own feel for what you want for the to get the flowering effect. You don't have to use the same ones I'm using. And that's what I love about this game. No, don't want to get rid of that. There we go, that's what we want. That's not going to work for me. We need to go ahead and we need to move these forward. I think that's the play. Yeah, that's the move we make here. Of course, these are tall enough, we shouldn't, when we're running by, we shouldn't shrink down into actual ditto form. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish there was some way I could get rid of the platforms of the bridge planks, but if I do, it automatically kills the shrub. Like, we can have floating trees, but we can't have floating shrubs. In fact, it's probably safer to get rid of those blocks before placing the shrubbery. Alrighty, now let's collect some berries. But yeah, I wanted to get all the trees set up with their bushes. So that way we got all those flowering. That's okay. We can fix that. I think I have another one in the chest. I swear I was holding Y and not pressing it, but okay. Not that one. Ah, yeah, see, we're good, we're good. And now I got a tree stump to decorate with. Alright, magnet rise. And I did it again. I know I have more chestnut trees, though, because that's my main tree besides the Leppa for my world. They're lovely. Alrighty. Now to place our bushes. And I did use... Yes, okay, cool. So, starting tomorrow, we'll be resuming our Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic playthrough. So that will start back up tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. I hope you will join me for that. We have just added or redeemed Juhani, which would probably be my second favorite character in the series. Alright, we're gonna put this one there. We haven't gotten to my favorite character yet, but we'll probably get my favorite character shortly after we get our circumstances under control at that point. Alrighty, let's get rid of some blocks here. So our first one's gonna be here. And then we want our pink right here. Go ahead and put our trees back. Then we want our blue. You know, I haven't tried to take a picture of these hedges when they're kind of suspended in the trees yet, but I wonder if it will still work. I kind of hope it does, because I would really like to be able to easily pick out our hedges again if I don't have enough of a particular variety for this corner section here when we set that up. But I know I've got enough to get everything in the greenhouse taken care of that we've already placed with this. And then we'll probably go on up and start doing our decorating of the cafe. I've got a whole bunch of the items in my inventory for us to do that. We've got some vine work. We've got the works, basically. Alright, let's get these berries. So we're gonna get this all looking good by the end of the stream. And there won't be anything in this greenhouse that's out of place. And it really shouldn't take us that long either. I think the biggest thing will be placing stuff around the cafe. Just trying to get it where it looks right. But once we got that figured out, it should be pretty easy from there. And this will be the last of the trees. I'm definitely wanting to add, I think, more pine trees or palm trees in here. I don't think we need to add any more berry trees than what we've got as far as, like, in this section goes. We might use berry trees in another way. And that'll make sense once we get there. Alright. So I got all kinds of stuff in my inventory to help us today. As I try to decide if I want to do this on the inside or not. I don't think we want to do that there. Alrighty. Lots and lots of tables. So I think one of the first things we should do is go ahead and start making things a little bit fancier around the dining room. I was thinking we could toss a few of these shelves up on some of these support beams to help keep that kind of greenhouse vibe going. Alrighty. things I was wanting to do is put this clock here. Yeah, I like that. And then... and then we'll go ahead, do that. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks nice. Maybe go ahead and do a little bit of run around the top here. Yeah, I think we'll do it along the outside of the greenhouse, and let's go ahead and knock that out, because that is something that I like to do, because it does help conceal that gapping a little bit nicer by having those there, in my opinion. I know it doesn't do as much for the inside, but it definitely helps on the outside. So let's go ahead and knock that out before I start using up all of our vine decorations on the interior. That definitely helps. Alrighty. And now for the Magnet Rise entry. So now, I think one of the best things we could do would be to hang them... Oh, bummer. Okay. That's how we'll do it. On this side. I know we have it hanging a little bit higher over there. But in order for us to really get the effect... Oh, shoot fire. Unfortunately, the corners are going to get us. It's like, oh, it doesn't even want me to put it there. That's the one problem with this, is that the corners get you. I'm trying to think if there's a way that we can fix it. There we go. We got it. Sweet. So much fine decorations. And I've really been debating on whether I want to put plant flowers like directly on the wall here, or if I want to get rid of the wall and put in some planters in parts of it. Alright, not sure what happened there, but almost feel as if we should leave this wall not with it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And then we've got these wall-mounted flowers. And we've got the berries. Let's do these berries. Yeah, I'm digging that so far. All right. So one of the things I've been thinking about is how are we going to do lighting in here? And this is kind of what I came up with. On the theory that I can get it all lined up easily enough. And logically, I didn't get it lined up at all, but we'll figure it out. My thought process was basically just like this. We're gonna try this. I'm not sure if I'll like it or not. But we'll see. Ooh. Bummer. Oh well, we'll undo that. I'm not sure how I feel. Actually, kind of like through the middle. Though I definitely do not have enough wire to make it look like it is properly suspended. How much more would I probably need? So I'd probably need about 5 or 6 more wire to make that look right. Yeah, we'll do that. Alrighty. Do that. Do there. I think, where else would I might want? Kind of like there. Which means if we're going to do that, I might as well raise those up. And let's put that in its place there. Alrighty. So we've got 4 points, so I can't put something like one of these plants in the middle on these tables. So, where we've got the 4 different points, let's start setting up some tables. Let's do this one. They're going to have an afternoon tea set on that table. And then let's do that. Let's do this table here. And I want to try to spread it out a little bit. I don't want all the same items at all the same tables, or even necessarily close. I mean, people are going to order what they see. And they're like, ooh, yeah, let's go with that. And we've got a fair number of these, so, like... might as well spread them around and do some, like, dessert-themed tables. Especially since we have so many different dessert styles. So we'll pair some of them with tea sets. Some of them with cookies. We'll have a good time with this. Yeah, we'll go there. Alright, so cookies. I do want to try to put them somewhat like opposite of each other in some sense. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put a cake there. I think a cake needs a tea set too. Tea and cake sounds nice. Of course, I like my tea with a little bit of honey and a little bit of cream when I'm having hot tea. Let's see here. Let's put some cookies with this tea. Here. Switch on back to our tea sets. I don't want to go too overboard on the desserts everywhere. I still want to have some obvious, like, savory stuff going on here. We got some sandwiches with our tea. And then over here we're going to put one of these soda floats. And a sandwich. And maybe fried potatoes? Yeah, that looks like fun. I forgot to make some plates for this. That's the only thing I forgot, really. I'm gonna make this a cookie table. Alrighty. And I was debating between making some nice cutlery and whatnot, and I just did not end up there. Also debated on putting like teacups, the actual teacups, and not just the baskets of tea and whatnot, or the platters of tea and whatnot with the pot. Especially since it doesn't always look right on the round tables, in my opinion. Alright, let's get the pizza going. I think it's looking pretty good, guys. Let's go ahead and toss some sandwiches down here. We'll add the cake there. We'll just go for over the top here. Try and get everything filled up. What else we got? So we got one more cake. Let's put it here. And then we'll put little sandwiches so they're having everything all at once. Alrighty. I think we're gonna eat a salad here, move these cookies to a different table. What's my cookie? There we go. And then let's add some more sandwiches and a pizza. One thing. That's okay. Alrighty. That's the table my son would sit at. There we go. Everything's got stuff all over it. Alrighty. Next piece on my agenda. So the other thing I wanted to do on each of these posts was put one of these up. So the corners are the exceptions. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with these corners units here. Because placing stuff there can be kind of tricky. They can't put stuff there now. If I put stuff on this level, I won't be able to put anything on top of here, which, I mean, that's not the worst thing. Let's, you know what, let's try this. See how I like this. I think this might be the way to do our corners. No on the reed. So, in the spirit of what came before, I think this is what we need to do. I think that looks kind of cute. No. I'm not thrilled with it. I know what I want. Alrighty. You know what? Let's see if I have any. I may still have some in storage. Oh no, I forgot to bring the drink up. Oh well. Alright, decorations. Yeah, I do not have it in storage. Alright, now to do things the hard way. I hope it's not too expensive to craft. No, Kyogre! It's already raining, bud. Already raining. I don't need more of your rain. I do need a Pokemon with Grow. Maybe we'll get lucky and find someone along the way. I say that, and this is the worst place we could find somebody along the way. If I wanted to warp back for easy 3D printing. Alright, let's go inside. Well, that's somebody. I'm not sure who. Oh, there's our Grow Pokemon. Alrighty. Go ahead and hit the stuff up with Grow. Not right now, guys. Let's see here. On here. Alrighty, come on, Leafeon. So I've been debating on what flowers we should use on the interior of this, and I think using some of the wildflowers mixed with the white Skyland flowers would look nice. But I was wanting to do it kind of too wide. So I wanted something that would look good side by side with each other. And doing two of the Skylands, I think, would be overkill on the white. So we may do various colors of the wildflowers. I know I've got a lot of red. Alright, Leafeon prefers sour. And the other thought was to just, not do anything that has white in it. Since there is white in the actual wall pieces, but rather go with pure color pop of, like, the mountain flowers. I don't think I have enough Skyland flowers that are not white to make them those. And I mean, I guess the seaside flowers wouldn't look bad. I just don't know how many of those I have. Come on, Leafeon. I have so much loaded up into the game with everything that I have put into my pallet town. I swear the game struggles sometimes because of that. We were almost done, Leafeon. All of these are going to have to go away soon. Especially if I want to get this front area looking how I want it to look. So let's see what flowers we got to work with in here. So I know I can pick up more purple. We'll go ahead and we'll add these to the here. And we'll add those. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. And we're going to try them directly on top of the blocks. Ouch. That is not pleasant. I would really only need 8. So let's do it. The price I pay for not date skipping. And going back and spending the last of the event currency where I forgot to spend it the night before the event ended before 5 a.m. hit me here. And what's sad is I was pretty sure I was up until the day rolled over. But I was just so involved in what I was building that I completely forgot the event was ending and didn't cash in. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and pick up these purple wildflowers. Barney's like, let's pick up these two. Just in case I think that that's the better switch. So I was thinking about the greenhouse and where we've got our little pond area in the corner, and how I put several palm trees in that area. I was genuinely considering going ahead and swapping the grass in that kind of like corner of the area for the seagrass, and using the yellow grass and the sea flowers to decorate the corner. And maybe do each one of the corners kind of themed on a different region. And I was like, I don't know. I know I definitely want to do it for by all those palm trees, but for the other areas, I may keep it normal field grass, and we'll just put whatever flowers we want and whatever grass we want down. I think swapping it out for the sky high in some areas and the alpine is unnecessary. But then again, it could be a nice effect. So we may end up doing that. Alrighty, I'm not going to pick up the pink wildflowers. I know we've got plenty of those on us. If we wanted to do the entire area of that, we probably could get away with it. Actually, the red and white wildflowers are my secondary flower color. And I think I may have more of those than the pink and white. So I ended up yanking the registers out here to make sure that we could get our power allotments elsewhere. So those will have to go back up. We'll go ahead and get on an elevator and head up that way. We've got it. Let's use it. Alrighty. It's like, oh, you need to eat right away. Yeah, that's a lot better than having... Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That was worth the expenditure, even though it feels like putting out that much rare Pokemetal for that item is kind of for you to get one piece of it. I know it's an event item, but still, like, can we get a bundle version of 5 just like how we purchased it? But yeah, there we go. I think that looks a lot nicer. Alrighty. Oh shit, we still have other stuff we can put up. So what if we did this? And then instead of having that there, we put in the berries. Yeah, that's the right move. Rightio. So what I was kind of thinking was put it directly on here like that. And then I had debated on doing stuff like this on each of the pillars. And then letting the wildflowers be the only ones right there. But I don't know that I necessarily like that. So I did just kind of get an idea how we can do this. Because like this one right here, I'm not going to be able to. So maybe that is the answer. Yeah, I think that may be the answer. Which means I'll need to make more of them, but there are worse things. To be making. Especially since all I really need is to grind out the Eevee Dream Island to get a bunch more wildflower seeds to harvest. I don't know that I want to put them on those, though. I think for those, I have a different thought process. Yeah. We're going to... instead get rid of that one. And we're going to get rid of this one. That way this can have something completely different going on here. So that gives us 5 blocks that we can play with to make a nice little design. And I like that idea. Alrighty, so that gives us 2 more. Which means we can go ahead and finish off this cubby hole. And 2, 4, 5 more is what I need. Alrighty. We can work with that. Yeah, I just don't have the color variety for the seashore flowers. Like I do some of the others. But we know we have to repeat a color. And we repeated purple on that side. Let's go ahead and repeat the orange. I wonder, is there somewhere... Yep, that's what I thought. More orange. Alright. But we can do this, and I think it will look nice. So pink is the base color. And then we'll duplicate that over here with pink as the base color. And then do we do the red? We're going to do the purple and white as the middle. And then for this one, we'll do the blue and white. And then on the other one, we'll do the orange and white. Yeah, that's coming along nice. I can dig that. Alrighty, so we need 5 more of those baskets. So we started with red down here. We got purple repeated. Okay. Kind of to the point where we're starting to pack stuff up. Because we shouldn't need much more. Alright. I've got some seashore grass already over here. I don't have the other styles of grass for changing it up like I was mentioning before. Alrighty. But I definitely want to go back to Pallet Town and get back to our base and deposit some of these flowers. See, part of me thinks we should swap out these for the green, but I've got so many of the others, so that's why we did that. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's go with that. We should still be able to craft off of those. No, it has to be the pink. Okay. Alrighty. I'm starting to get a little tired, guys. Alrighty, now to kind of look around real quick. Let's see if I can spot any seashore flowers and the color we haven't used in this greenhouse. Alright. So my best bet will be our other greenhouse. And the cemetery. Can't forget the cemetery. I have a lot of flowers in there, though I think there's... I don't think I have many of the seashore in here. Oh. I have... They may come as yellow. Sweet. My bad. Alright. But it could also just be the lighting. Those could have been the orange. But I put a lot of flowers in here. I'm not sure which to use, guys. Wheat seeds. I wish they would give us more flower seeds. So let's try selecting our flowers back at our base. I could check Cerebi to find out what the other color was. There's one other place that they might be. Nope. I did the pink. We'll go ahead and 3D print one of these and make sure it wasn't just the lighting causing the orange to look kind of yellowish. I'm pretty sure they're all that I took was orange, but or Pokemetal or a flower. There we go. That is the other color. Okay. So we'll go ahead and make 2 of those. I have an idea. While we're here, we can. So we got seashore. We can grab some alpine grass, and then we can jump down here. And there's our sky-high grass. So with that in mind, I'm gonna grab those. And then I love using these. So we'll add those, and then we'll add our beautiful or elegant flowers. Go in here. Bushes. Get those. Did I grab everything I need? We'll go ahead and take these square bushes as well. Don't need anything from... Yeah, I do. Alright. Now we're cooking. So we'll fly on back over here. And we'll do just a little bit more here before we move on for tonight. Go in here, and we're going to take all of our grass and our duckweed and these vines and these ferns. Pull those. You know what, we might as well add these to our inventory. Alright. So one of the first things I want to do is sort our inventory and get the dense vines. And I want to put them up at the corners on here. And we may make them go further down the corners. No, we'll go ahead. We're not going to go all the way down. So we're going to use our yellow seashore flowers here. There's our hanging baskets. There we go. I do believe I am mostly happy. And I do mean mostly. Because my brain suddenly said, we need to have this. No! Dangling from the light. Ever having trouble placing something or finding the right angle for it, you notice how I am using the left and right adjust on the D-pad to help get us lined up properly. So if you're ever having trouble and just like not wanting to put it where you think it should be going, Don't forget you can adjust things like that. There we go. And then... So yeah, those are locked in for that outside. Not letting us go along this side, sadly. So we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of the ones from the center. But if we can't do it on both sides, it doesn't quite look as nice. Now, what we can do, though, in theory, would be place a block and then have it coming off of it and going across, but I think that's enough. Yeah, I think that's enough. So yeah, here's our little cafe. Now, let's do some block swapping here. Oh no, I don't know what I just swapped. Okay, white rock, we're good. Not the end of the world. Yeah. We'll do that. And then we'll take this palm tree out. And then I want to put a couple more trees here. Go ahead and do that there. And then we're going to swap out for the sky high here. Yeah, I think that's the right move, guys. I think doing kind of a theming on it. It's a good idea. Like I said, we're going to keep this one the sky high. And then from here, we're going to do the alpine. too bad. Gotta go back there and make sure I swap out the ones under these bridge, because I am that level of OCD. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take one of our palm trees. There. I think that's the one we get rid of. Back to our seashore grass. That's going to be about all we do for the seashore grass. It is in this area. And then we'll leave this area field grass. Back into the cave. Excuse me. Because that's what's missing. A somewhat of a cave enthusiast. Yeah, that built some more cave light. We're gonna take this palm tree away. We're gonna switch over to our pointy trees. And over here, we'll bring back out the palm tree. I almost regret that we can't put one there. But I think that will make it look fine. Alrighty. So over here we want to use that. And we're going to use our seashore flowers. And then, let's see here. What's some of this adorable hedge? Healthy hedge? Yeah. And I think the right move is to do another leafage right there for some more yellow grass. And I think... yeah. So, what I'm wanting to do here... I think we're gonna put flowers like this. Was my mistake. I messed up. But that's okay. We can just fix it. Now I want to go with those there. And then we'll go with these here. Yeah, I think the white is the way to go there. And then we'll go ahead and we'll leafage up some grass. We'll fill in some of this with some wildflowers later. Ooh. I almost forgot to place our spider webs in the caves. That was going to be one of the other things I needed to add on. No, spider web, or sticky web. There we go. That's where I wanted you. know if we... Get you... There we go. Maybe put some stones around. Maybe some more bushes. Alright, so for that... And that'll come in play later. Yeah, we're starting to get there. So I think right here, we need to go ahead and place some of our grass. And then let's go ahead and we'll put these healthy bushes here. So we put some of these bush square plants over here. And then we want to go ahead and might as well just leafage up some grass here on either side. And I want to use some of our mountain flowers around in here. And then we'll use some of these damp hedges. No, we're going to use this purple healthy hedge. Put these pink flowers in here too. Alrighty. So back here we want to go ahead and use leafage. And put some grass there. And then we'll go ahead and toss blue and a white down. Alrighty. We are moving right along. So now I want to pull out some of our vine work. We have fern. That wouldn't look too bad. So right there. Right there. And we've got some of this duckweed and flowering duckweed, which I want to focus on putting that over here. Yeah. That's looking nice, I think. We're getting there, we're getting there. I want more of this. So we're just gonna... What I'm thinking here is we should be able to go down just a little bit like that. Do the same there. It's going to look a little crowded here, but I think the effect should be worth it. Call that good. No. We're going to go ahead and take some of these back. I definitely want to leave it kind of framing the entrance to our caves there. I really like that effect. Come on. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And originally I was kind of thinking maybe we could put some hanging off of here too. Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go along here. And that way, if I come back here and decide I want to add more, all we have to do is remove one of these and start putting my vines up. Too far out. that. Put some of these up here, and that'll help make that space a little less brown looking. We have, yes. Might as well put that at our kitchen door there. And I've been thinking this door could use some framework. Add a little decoration there. And we'll go ahead and go across this top area. There. So for this, we're going to use Sky High. What I want to do is we're going to take out that block there, and then we're going to take out the block below it, if I can manage to get it properly highlighted. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it that. There we go. So by making that little indentation there, what we're going to do is we're going to put it back. I'm going to place this, and I'm going to go beneath it and get rid of it. Nope. Don't like it. We're going to go there, and then we're going to go there instead. I don't know why I got rid of that one already. Alrighty. So what we've got here are small chesto trees and small lepa trees. And if we get rid of the block beneath them, they shouldn't grow anymore. And those will end up making nice little bush. Like berry bushes for us. And then I want to do I wish we could put it at an angle. So it's random on whether or not it will turn into a ditto. And that's kind of what I'm trying to force out, is the ditto expression. Well, we'll go back to that in a moment. Let's put some sky-high grass back down. That way our bushes are appropriately placed. And let's add some flowering bushes. Let's go with this stylish hedge. And then we're going to go with another one right there. Alrighty. I wonder how well that will translate. think we need the driftwood in this. Let's add some flowers. And we're using the Skyland flowers. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the pink Skyland flowers, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to place blue, and then we're going to leafage up some more grass. And then do we put the yellow? Yeah. Put the yellow in there. Alright. No. I don't like the yellow. We'll fix it. But that might be the fix. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Oh. Now we can put some of the yellow and orange over here. And then I think we're going to put the white here. Yeah. That's looking a little nicer. So over here, I'm going to put some bushes in the water. And then let's go with some of this tall grass. Kind of add some texture here on the bottom. Like I said, I'm thinking here is probably where we're going to end up putting our canoe. Kind of near this. And that's just going to be a decoration. Make the space look a little more alive. There. Oh. Yeah. You know, I don't think I like the yellow grass there. I think the better thing to put between the wheat might simply be flowers. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Oops. There we go. I wanted to put a large boulder up here. And then I was hoping to toss a couple of these around the area to help add a little bit of illumination up into the mix. Alright. Over here, I think we need to put a couple more bushes. We're going to go with these. And then I was kind of thinking something needs to go on these bridgeways. And that was the idea what I was toying with, was maybe putting these there. I don't think I made enough for it, but yeah, I didn't make enough to do all of them. But where we've got the palm trees on this one, I think it almost doesn't need it. Yeah, we're gonna swap out that. We're gonna swap one of these down. Yeah, that, I think, was a smart move. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. Resort, because we picked up a few things. Flowering duckweed. We'll put it framing the crystal here. Yeah, so it looks like we need to make 3 more of those baskets to get our bridges topped off. I debated between putting these on there too, but I just feel like that a little small and doesn't really add that much to the space. Let's see here. Ah, yeah. Alrighty. we're going to take this mushroom back, and then we're going to move the other one. So we're going to take this one, and we're going to actually go in here. I think that will cause a nice effect. Yeah, I kind of like that. So perhaps we could have gotten it further back. Alrighty. There we go. That's where I really wanted it. Alrighty. Back to this area here. Let's go ahead. We're going to use leafage there and there. And then I think we're going to use mountain flowers. Let's use the blue because we're right next to those tomatoes, and that'll give us a nice little contrast there. Yeah. I'm really starting to like how this is looking now. Now let's see. Try one more time to get a ditto. Alright. So let's go get our canoe. Put away some of this excess supplies. And then we're going to get our wildflowers to add into this space. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take all of these trees with us for now. And these bins. Should be all for that. So there's our canoe. We're not going to worry about that. Warp back to our storage unit here. Alrighty, let's put some stuff away. So like I said, I think we're going to use the regular wildflowers for that last little bit. And I'm going to hold on to some of these hedges for now. But I think we're done with the tree stumps and the trees for now. And I will have to pull probably all of these trees right back out of storage. So that way we can do the area around the greenhouse. But we can put some stuff away. And in case you're just joining, it kind of also gives you a look at how I set up my storage unit a little better. Kind of what I put where. So this is where I put most of my natural elements. I'm not convinced we don't need to place more of those, so we'll hold on to that. Alrighty. Now our inventory should be looking a little better. Yep, we still got those bushes. So we need regular wildflowers. We'll need 3 of them. We'll go ahead and craft, and then we'll pull stuff out for the wildflowers. Alrighty. So now that we swapped out all of our terrain, we can put our extra grass back. And our extra soil away. And we're going to hold on to the white rock and gravel because they still might be useful down the road here. Oh, not yet. We need our wildflowers. Right. So tomorrow's stream schedule at 2 o'clock, I believe. Either 2 or 2:30, but I'm pretty sure I've got it scheduled for 2 o'clock. We're going to be doing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on the Switch 2. And that's just the port of the original Xbox version. And we'll resume our playthrough of that. And then tomorrow evening at 10:15, we will load back up on Pokopia, and we will start making things a little more interesting on the exterior. We're going to go ahead and frame that in blue, and then we're going to put some red down. I think red needs to go there. Maybe a little purple. Like I said, I'm just trying to get a little bit of a variety going. I want things to look nice. At the same time, I'm okay with having a mismatch of colors everywhere. Let's go with going into the cave. We'll put more blue. There we go. Put our canoe here. Yeah, we're looking good. A little bit more detailing here. Let's do that. And then let's put pink here. And here. And then we'll do... let's do a purple. You know, I don't think I like the pink there. Let's do... one of these. Yeah. Yeah. I think just adding a few more like bushes and whatnot around here can really help make this a little bit better. So we're gonna add you right there. Then we'll put you there. The last flowers to place. We're gonna go with the red. And that, my friends, gets our greenhouse mostly done. I may still do some spot fixes and maybe add some more vines and try and get things a little bit nicer. Like I said, I think I want some more hanging vines around off of the top layer, and that's something that I can grind out and collect off screen for you. And then we'll come on up to our cafe. And our cafe is looking good too. So one of the things I think we need is something there. Let's go ahead. Let's put one of these bushes here. And then that one and that one. I think that makes it a little better coming down. Going up. I just want things to look kind of overcrowded, overgrown. Alright, I think for this one we should frame it. Let's go with these. Yeah, I like that. You know what? We'll go ahead and magnetize. And we'll take back that fern. And we'll place that. There we go. And then we'll put one of you here. And there. And then there. And then we'll add this fern here for texture. There, I think that looks a little better. That one I don't like as much. I think we leave that one alone. So yeah, tomorrow night, 10:15, we will start getting our pathway and build this area up. I'm thinking we may end up filling up most of this and then maybe build a gazebo, or we may go ahead and keep it, maybe change the dimensions a little bit so that way maybe just one layer of field grass here to help make a transition a little easier on staircases, and do the pathing all the way around to the front of the building. And I'll try to get all of this cleared out before we start the stream as well. But, so yeah, tomorrow you've got 2 o'clock for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and 10:15 for more building in Pokopia. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.